We had left our jobs, so we had no income. We had zero cash flow, and now we're up to around $10,000 a month.
But when I had done at least $750,000, I thought, now is the time to go forward, and it continues to grow.
Well, in a period of that very first year that we were able to make over $4 million. And we had a cash flow coming in of, it was a little over $12,000 a month.
You made what? 12,000, 15,000, 15,000 in one day.
My first month, I was able to put about 70 grand in my pocket.
I did about $200,000. I have a net positive income of about $8,000 a month.
You are one of the mentors that I credit every day with changing my life, not only monetarily, but personally, spiritually, in virtually every way. There's not hardly a day that goes by I don't teach the lessons that you taught me back when I was 19. When I first got your Hurdles and Pitfalls real estate book, I was about 19 years old, living in a single bedroom apartment with two other guys, and didn't have, a dime to my name or anything. I had tried all kinds of real estate books, all kinds of stuff, to get rich quick stuff. None of it worked for me until I got your Hurdles and Pitfalls book, because it was real practical knowledge. I remember my first time I made an offer to a banker, I literally was reading exactly what you said to read the banker, and it worked. And that gave me the confidence that literally changed the rest of my life.
Sold it for $158 on a rent to own. When they refinanced the house, I'll net $42,000, so pretty pleased.
Short Time was one of the foreclosures. I made about $24,000 on it in about 6 weeks. Turned it over real fast.
We fixed it up in about 3 weeks. We sold the house in less than 90 days for $129,900. We ended up with about $26,000 in our pocket on our first deal.
I found a buyer for the property while we were still in escrow, and at the close of escrow, I realized about a $47,000 gain and had seller financing involved in the whole deal.
Yeah, in about approximately 6 months since we went to the Whitney course and started, we've increased our net income, worth over $1 million.
We still own it now. I've raised the rents $200 a month over the last year. It's a $350 a month cash flow after we pulled our profit out tax-free of $15,700.
We have not spent any of our own money yet, and we have 18 single family and 3 duplex.
To me, the biggest difference is really not just financially, it's more freedom. I have the freedom to spend time with my kids. I have the freedom to do what I want when I feel like it. I work out every single day in the middle of the day. You know why? Because I feel like it.
The amount of money that you can make, it is very, very eye-opening.
Ongoing monthly income that will pay for our children's, college education. It's something that they can inherit. It's something that we can pass along, and we can teach them how to do what we've done.
You retire, you have no mortgage payment, and yet you have an extra $1,000 a month coming in. You just doubled your retirement income with one purchase.
We can go any place we want, anytime we want. We have no time clock to punch. It gives you the freedom to do things at the spur of the moment. It gives you the freedom to do it without having to worry about it by breaking a bank somewhere. I'm not going to make my mortgage payment next month. It is, how should I phrase it? It's been an enlightening development for us.
I actually cleared $60,000. And that was my first real money deal that I made. And I just couldn't believe it.
I'll make, believe it or not, $15,000 my deal.
No money down, $10 down is really what I put down, $10. And literally I made $17,400 in about 2 or 3 hours worth of work.
A very, very real, very eye-opening experience on what you can do with your life and what's actually out there for you.
We did a quick flip. It was a 30-day close, no money out of our pocket, and made $30,000 on the deal.
We're probably going to make $80,000 on the deal in 45 days.
Our first property we bought for $25,000, put $10,000 in fix-up money into it. Did a cash-out refinance, put $20,000 in our pocket. We have it cash flowing $250 a month.
We have 3 properties. 2 of the properties are going to turn around and do rentals, generate anywhere from $1,600 to $2,000, and sell 1 property and generate $12,000 to $15,000 in cash.
When I joined Russ's group, I had 10 rental properties,
And since then, I've built up to about 67 rental properties and 2 commercial properties, 2 small apartments. Yeah, no, I wasn't going to sign up at all until they told me, hey, you're going to have Russ Whitney as your private mentor. So once he told me that, I was, I said, where do I sign, right? So it's really cool. In the mentorship, I think the things that helped me the most were I was young, I'm still young, but I had a lot of different ideas and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just starting a business, so I'd get with Russ and every time we'd talk, I'd have a different idea. Hey Russ, I want to buy an RV park, a 50-unit RV park. And he'd get somebody on the phone who's wrote a book about RVs and who owns thousands of RV parks. I want to open an assisted living facility. And he'd get somebody on the phone that I could talk to and give me advice. Just a lot of different businesses that I wanted to possibly do until I found my niche. And I think I finally found my niche as small apartments. So I could give you the breakdown on the small apartment that I just bought. I paid $525 for it 6 months ago. I put $100,000 into it. I raised the rents from $450 to $850. And I kicked out 17 people for non-payment, and I just refinanced it about 2 weeks ago, and it appraised for $1.1 million. So I made, about $500,000 in equity on the deal. So it's pretty great.
Now tell me about your first deal.
Paid $73 for it. Okay. We refinanced and got $90 out of it. Drew out $17,000 cash.
It has
at that time.
It appraised at $165,000. So we have $75,000 equity in it, and we get $300 a month profit every month off the rent.
Okay, what's the next one that you're excited about? Show me one that you're really happy with.
This one right here.
Okay, tell me about
this house here. We bought for $74,000. We bought it, and 28 days later, we had a contract on it and closed on it for $93,000.
28 days again. So you bought it. Tell me again. You bought it for how much?
We bought it for $73 and sold it for $93. That's $20,000.
$20,000. Yeah. $20,000, and you did that in how long?
In 28 days. Wow. Yeah. So within 3 months, we had made around $40,000. So, and we didn't have any special money in the bank or any extra credit. We just used our charge cards.
Did you really? That's how you got started with charge cards.
Okay, when you can make a phone call to follow up and get some instruction, that's key.
Unlike so many real estate people you see on TV, the infomercials and all that, so many of them haven't done it. They're just preaching it. Russ has done it. He's gone out and bought, fixed up, and made a ton of money, just like he made more than I did. He outdid his teacher by a long way. But at my age, I don't care about that. What I like to do, and what I see Russ doing right now, is giving back, because that's where you really get life satisfaction and joy and contentment. And I can't say it any stronger than that. I really believe that because I've seen it happen.
What I wanted was something that was I could do passively, get income from. And I found that in buying real estate and applying the principles, that not only could I achieve excellent cash flow, we're making about 14.5% ROI on our investments, but we're also investing and reaping a great cash flow out of an appreciating asset. Now, where do you go wrong with this? There's a savings account's going to pay you 1.5%. If you find a good municipal bond, you're going to be 3.75%. So I'm getting, right now we're picking up almost 4 times that, and at the same time our asset is appreciating. To me, that's nothing but good business.
I recently visited with several of my students to learn firsthand how my system for real estate investing has helped them change their lives for the better. I spoke with Spencer in my home state of Florida about his recent success.
I did the math on this. I'll make, believe it or not, $15,000 my deal. Now my partners, they'll make $15,000. So
you each make it.
We're pretty excited about
And then
that.
when she bought this, you were telling me, then she had a friend, and
Oh
so
my
you bought
gosh.
the one. Tell me about the one next door.
Oh yeah, they were so.
So you hit one, you hit another one next
Boom,
door. That's
boom,
crazy.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
They called me up, said, hey, we got a friend of ours, actually their best friend. They loved what you did for us. Could you buy them a home? I'm like, absolutely. What I love about this, Russ, is what you've taught is you got your buyer in hand. You're not buying a house, renovating it, and then doing the marketing trying to find a buyer. I got a buyer already. So I got my exit strategy.
This is like almost brand new house, and you're getting it 30% below value using the REO technique and then a hard money lender.
Yes, sir.
Incredible. Good,
Yes,
good,
sir.
good. What would you say to people watching right now about what you learned and what you're accomplishing, what you're doing? I mean, you drove in a beautiful new car. You look happy. You look like you're coming along. What would you tell somebody? Should they get the Building Life Wealth training?
I tell
Does
you
it work?
It definitely works. Especially in this time of the market, there's a lot of opportunity, and with what you can learn, it doesn't take a whole lot to turn your whole life around.
So could people make money with this training?
Oh, I should say so. I never even went to college, and believe me, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, and if I can do it, anyone can do it.
What would you tell people? Was the course hard? I mean, was there that much for you to study before you got rolling and got some profits?
No, what I liked about it, Russ, is you gave me a step-by-step program. It basically told me what to do on day one. That first week, I knew what to do. I knew what ads to run. I knew how to start marketing. And what's great is all laid out for you. It's pretty darn simple.
You know, right now the word is out. I mean, everybody knows real estate is doing well. Some markets incredibly better, but you know what? I got friends in Las Vegas, here in Florida, in Houston, in Dallas. They're all making money. Now that you're rolling, okay, you got some cash flow. You don't have to go to your full-time job. You're making lump sums here of $15,000 and $30,000. How's this changing your life?
What I didn't share with you is I have a 7-year-old daughter right now. And what I like about it, I'll be able to fund her college. I do have a retirement now set up, whereas before, when I got laid off, I had to pull all my money out of my IRA, Russ. So that literally took my retirement funds out the window. Now what I'm doing is I'm redoing that at a quicker pace than I've ever believed. So what's nice is I'm taking care of my family, Russ, and I'm going to have a great retirement.
Russ traveled to Minnesota to visit with Sean, who made over $80,000 on his first 2 deals and now has assets of over $750,000.
Well, Sean, some of what you're telling me is exciting. Now we're here in Minneapolis, and tell me about this. This is one of your deals. I'd like to hear about this one.
This property, a couple was going into foreclosure situation, and we got in touch with them. We stopped the foreclosure, saved their credit.
Wow.
Gave them some money in their pocket to help them move, help them with their medical bills, and such like that. Continued to make, the monthly payment on the property. We held this property for about 4 months. We did a very little rehab. We put some carpet in the property, cleaned it up, painted a little bit. All in all, we probably put right around $25,000, $30,000 in this property. When we sold it, our closing check for this property was right around $59,000.
So how much profit?
About $35,000 we made on this property.
In 4 months?
In 4 months.
Wow. Tell me about, you told me about your first deal. Tell me about your best deal. What's the best deal you've ever done?
My best deal was downtown Minneapolis. Not what I would call not such a great area. We bought that house. A young lady was going through foreclosure. We helped her out, paid off all of her bills for her, so she was happy, put some money in her pocket, saved her credit. We, on the other hand, had a buyer. We sold it to a lady on a contract for deed situation to help her out. We refinanced the property, cashed out. We made about $47,000 profit on that house.
Holy cow. So you bought it, you helped someone out of foreclosure.
Yep.
Okay, and you actually profited. You put $47,000 in your pocket.
Exactly.
So now tell me, from the time you went to, and you saw this late night infomercial, from the time you saw that, where we were on TV, and you went through our training, how long did it take you to be able to quit your job?
3 months.
So starting from nothing, how much have you built up in gross assets and net worth over the last years?
Actually, we just sat down and went over this the other day at a corporate meeting. We've got net assets right now close to $750,000. And when we started, I owned nothing. I mean, it was just out of college. I had nothing going as far as assets. But now my company's worth about $750,000. I never did go back to finish school, and I would like to someday, but right now I'm doing just fine without it, and my wife is very proud of it. So when I first went to the first seminar, I didn't know anything about real estate. I always said I'd like to get into it, had no idea how to. The Whitney Education Group has taught me how to buy real estate, how to sell real estate, and how to make money buying and selling real estate. And I know more now than most people will ever know. So I would recommend it to anyone.
Real estate has really created, in my family, generational wealth, because my kids see me doing something that's successful, and they then follow suit and they do it successful.
Let's go back into the field and see how my students are doing with the Building Life Wealth system.
I just got finished inking a contract. The ink is not even dry on 3 deals that together are almost $500,000. Another motel, just similar to this one, and 2 small mobile home parks. And I got owner financing, didn't have to walk into a bank. And another deal was $1.5 million mobile home park that we found the deal for. And because it was such a great deal, I'm in for 25%, and I'm not putting up any money at all.
If you're a baby boomer and you got money and credit, the strategies work that much better. You do deals every day. Well, every week. I mean, not every day, but I mean, you do consistent deals. You've learned how to do this on a full-time basis. You just happen to be coming down for the interview, and you're surprising me with what happened today. What do you have there?
I have a check for just slightly less than $76,000. It represents a house that we bought at foreclosure for around $25,000. Put some money into it, fixed it up, and just sold it, as you can see, for almost $76,000, and made very close to $20,000 profit.
The reason Russ Whitney's techniques work in today's real estate market is because they're simple, applicable, and timely. Russ Whitney does do this business as well.
It gives you the good tools that you need, and these are people who are out in the field like right now. It's not people who used to be in the field like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, or haven't done anything. These people are doing stuff currently, and you're learning from the best while they're doing the best.
We closed on a Tuesday. The next Tuesday, I put a for sale sign in the yard at noon, and by 1 o'clock, 1 hour later, sold it at a $24,000 profit.
December, January, and February, we were basically in debt to the bank, $207,000. And now our net worth now is $650,000.
The cash flow is enough that it's equivalent to Debbie's salary. We both have full-time positions, and it's equivalent to Debbie's salary.
And it's over $1.5 million worth of real estate.
On my paper on the wall, it says this year more than $1 million. So far, $1.7 million already.
Netted $25,000 on that one. Actually, $25,872.62. Got a copy of that check. Very proud of it. And that was our kickoff. We bought our second house 2 months later. I've got that on a lease contract right now, and we'll be closing on that in July. Realized probably a $20,000 profit on that house. And since last March, we have bought 21 total units, totaling $1.3 million. We purchased them at about 60 cents on a dollar, and we're just having a ball.
Well, it was at roughly about 5 days after the Whitney training that we obtained, we were able to put a check in our pocket for about $25,000 cash. That stuff is really powerful, and it really works.
What I heard at the free seminars, the speakers were excellent. They got their point across very clear. You didn't have any problem walking away from it and not knowing what they said. I put just the material I learned from the free seminars together, and I sold the house. I took $34,000 out of the deal. Just from making phone calls, I did nothing.
Now, Russ shows how an Ohio couple started to receive a positive cash flow of $2,000 a month on their first 2 deals, and now own over $1 million in real estate.
Tell me about the first deal you did.
The triplex probably the first deal.
Okay. Yeah, we have a triplex apartment unit in Salem, Ohio. That's about 15-20 minutes from here.
Right.
That was no money down also.
Right.
3 units, its positive cash flow is about $300 a month.
Right.
And then right after that were the 2 sixplex apartment buildings, owner finance.
And so what's your total positive cash flow then?
It's almost $2,000 a month. This deal here, we bought no money down.
Okay.
We have about a total of $40,000 into it with purchase and rehab. Right. It's appraised at $68,000.
Okay.
We're in the process of doing a cash out refinance.
Right.
We'll get about between $10,000 and $12,000 on it.
What's the gross amount of properties you think you've bought? Do you know, in dollars?
The total market value is over $1 million now. What we own is over $1 million.
Yeah.
It's $1,098,000. And the net worth of all those properties is over $250,000.
So,
not used any of our own money.
None.
None. I don't worry about the money anymore. We worry about helping people and solving their problems, and the money comes naturally. Thank you very much.
Having the contracts included in it is just a huge benefit. There are resources that are available to you.
Jeff likes to use just one of my techniques. Like many of our success stories, he's able to repeat that technique over and over to create a very nice income. Why don't you explain to us what you got here in this house?
Absolutely. We put this under contract very quickly. 5 days later, I sold the contract for $3,000 to an investor. The investor is now going into the home and restoring it for resale. So it's going to be a fix and flip for him. He'll make 20. I've made 3. Everybody's happy. We've turned the neighborhood back around. All the neighbors can't wait for this house to be fixed.
This neighbor just came out of the house thanking him for fixing his property up.
You put it step by step in the program. I mean, you taught me how to make multiple offers. You taught me how to assemble the contract so that they'd be safe and risk-free. I could get out of them if I needed to. You taught me how to find these buildings. You taught me how to approach the owners and make the deal. And then you taught me how to find the investors who want to buy this thing and make 20 grand. So you showed me the whole steps. All I'm doing is following it.
You give me too much credit. He's actually a pretty sharp guy. But I got to tell you something. When you open a Building Life Wealth course, what you're going to find is it is laid out step by step. Within just a couple hours, you're going to be ready to go out and make your first offer. You're going to be able to find deals like this with little money, little credit. Or if you have a lot of money, a lot of credit, there are other great strategies in there for you as well. So don't feel like this is for a no money, no credit person. This is for anybody who's looking for financial independence, looking to take advantage of this great market.
Hi, this is Jeff and Mia Nolan from Phoenix. We're super excited to share our experience with Russ Whitney. Mia and I each had attended Millionaire University separately before we were married. So honey, why don't you go first and tell your experience?
Okay. Hi, I started investing in real estate in 2000 with my mother. We were a mother and daughter team. We joined because we were committed to our financial growth in real estate investing. At Millionaire University, we bought our first cash flow property in Florida. 2 years later, we sold that property and bought 5 more properties through Millionaire University, and we went on to buy properties in other states.
Awesome. So from my perspective, when I attended, back then, my other business was failing. So I saw Russ on TV, checked it out, went and joined. 2 years out of Millionaire University, I did 52 deals, the largest of which was a 32-unit apartment building. Bought it, no money down.
Wow. Well, we look forward to meeting you in the future.
So we love you, Russ, and see you all at Millionaire University.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, Russ Whitney, when I met him here at the conference, he congratulated us for what we've accomplished, and I thanked him. I said, you have changed our lives. And he looked at me and he says, but are you having fun? And I mean, that's the bottom line. Yeah, we are.
Last year, I went to a different financial advisor. And after talking for about an hour, he put all the numbers into the computer and said, you know, you're in about the best financial situation I've seen in years. He said, how long have you been doing this? I said, about 2.5 or 3 years. He said, can I have a card?
It's like they've taken us in as a part of the family. And that's the way we feel like we're family. You know, part of the Russ Whitney family.
Russ Whitney has really created a path that you can follow. And that's important. Because once you have a path and you have a leader or you have a guide, that's really what it is. We have a guide.
$150,000 profit in this house. That's the kind of money you can make in real estate investing. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, those come every single week or every single month, but how many of those you need to do to have a pretty good day?
I visited one of my students, Dana, in Arizona, who's having great success using my techniques.
Well, this is actually a fourplex, and it was an REO, and we were able to buy it and sell it in the same day using one of the strategies you taught me, which was a double closing, and total profit on that double closing was $36,000.
So you bought this and sold it in one day. You didn't even close. You closed and then closed it with another person in one day and made $36,000 in one day.
That's right.
Now, I know that sounds too good to be true to a lot of people, but folks, he did 2 more. Explain the other 2 that you did.
Oh, yeah, well, if it works once, it's probably going to work again. So we just kind of watched the community and saw a couple more came up, and we did the exact same thing. And all in all, I think between the 3 buildings, we ended up with just a little over $70,000 in quick flip profits.
We went to look at another great deal that Dana just did, where he used the exact same technique to make a nice profit.
Using the system that I got from you, I mean, we're finding deals like this all the time. And what we did is we found this property at a wholesale price. We actually took it down with hard money. Didn't have to really use any of our own money. Our intentions were to fix it up and turn around a retailer because this is a great area. But everything's for sale, and we have a lot of relationships that we've established with wholesalers. And the moment we took it down, I had a call from a wholesaler, said he'd give us 21 grand more than we already paid for it. And within 2 days, he closed with us all cash. made $21,000 on a quick
So
flip.
you got in with no money of your own by establishing hard money lenders, which of course you learn about in the course. And so you got this, and then you were able to flip it for 21. How long did it take to make the $21,000?
Two days after we closed on it, we closed with our other buyer and made 20 grand on the flip.
And on to the third location with Dana. This guy's going like gangbusters. Beautiful, beautiful property. So tell me what you did here. Give me the detail.
Yeah, well, using one of your auction strategies, we actually used transactional funding. So we bought this property at the auction with no money out of our own pocket. And the reason we did it is we already had a buyer in place, and we did a quick flip. It was a 30-day close, no money out of our pocket, and made $30,000 on the deal.
Yeah, this is incredible. I mean, I can't tell you how not only proud I am of you on this one, but the other ones. I mean, you've done a heck of a job. You really have. Folks, you watching, Dana's done an unbelievable job. And these things like transactional funding and buying with no money and getting positive cash flow, I mean, they're happening every day in every city and town in the country. I mean, these are not made-up houses. We're on location. This is current. This is today. I mean, it's got to cause you to just think. If you're not making the money you want, if you're not living your dreams, if you're worried about your kids going to the school they want to go to. Just think about this. The biggest single investment most people ever make in their life and the most money is their house. We buy the house, it's worth 100 grand or whatever it is. 30 years later, we pay it off and it's worth 300. We sell that house, that's the largest lump sum of money we ever lay our hands on in our life.
Most people who own a home would sell that home once in their lifetime. And when they did, that would be the most money they would ever have in their hand at one time. And I said to myself, well, that's true. And he said, well, if that's true, why would you do it only once?
If there was ever a time for this kind of education, the time is now. There's more opportunity out there than ever before, really. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible, the abundance of deals that are out there. But you have to know what you're doing in order to put those deals together. And Russ's program can help you do that.
I had 6 jobs in 6 years. I was going nowhere really fast. And I found Russ Whitney, and using his strategies and techniques, my business went from 0 to $2.1 million in its first 12 months. What Russ Whitney taught me has changed my life. And if you use the strategies that he's taught me and his building life wealth system, it will revolutionize your life.
You can call them. And they give their time for you.
I can ask a question from an expert, someone who's done it, been there, seasoned. I can get, inside help, so to speak, if you will, and for that to occur, that's worth its weight in gold.
But the main difference is that I see in the Whitney organization is the people, they don't just teach you principles in your head. I'm a real visual person. I have to see the things happen. They work with you to help you really see that and learn how to do it so that you're able to take that and to duplicate that, to reproduce what they've taught you. That's really unique when you look at all the different infomercial programs, that most of them, they send you out information and they hope you do it. And whatever their motivation is, they have to deal with that. But what I've seen in the Whitney organization is they don't just, it's not a matter of sending out information to you. It's a matter of taking you through a process for life change so that you can really lay out goals in your life and you can accomplish those goals. Then it becomes your choice if you do it, but they've given you every tool possible to accomplish and succeed and experience real freedom in your life.
Here in Alabama, meeting with Bobby Threlkeld, and Bobby went through our training and bought his first property in 2 weeks and kind of took off like a lightning bolt. So we stopped here to talk to Bobby. Thought you might like to hear from him. So Bobby, tell me about, we're in front of your house. This is your first deal?
That's right, Russ. This here was actually 2 weeks after I come from your training. We'd purchased this one through, it was pre-foreclosure. We got paid $36,000 for it.
Okay.
It appraised, we got appraisal right here at 77.
And so how much equity then? So for 77, you're about what, 40 into it? So
yeah, about 40, a little under 40.
So you're making $30,000 or $40,000 on your first deal?
First deal. First deal. It's great.
What's your wife think of that?
Oh, she loves it. She's ready to quit work.
Is she?
I think 2 weeks later I bought 2 more. It's just.
And can you tell me, do you remember those deals? Do you know?
Yeah, we did. I bought one at the courthouse steps, paid $18,000. We turned around and sold it for $46,000.
How long did it take you to sell it?
It took probably, I think that one there was 90 days, 3 months. And then the other one, we rented it out, we rehabbed it and rented it out for, I think, 1.5 years and recently just sold it.
And what did you sell it for?
We sold that one, I want to say, for $48,000.
What was your profit?
Our profit was a little over $20,000.
Wow.
So on your first 4 deals, what was your approximate profit on your first 4?
Wow, I would say around $80,000.
$80,000. What does your family think of all this? They think you're nuts, or are they behind you? What do they think?
Well, that's funny you say that, because before I went to their training, that's what I got from my family and friends.
Really?
Was a lot of negative stuff, and now they're all trying to figure it out.
And what's your best deal? What's the best deal you've ever done?
Best deal, I would say I bought a property for $12,000 and it appraises at $120,000.
Tell me that one more time. You bought it for what and sold for?
We bought it for $12,000, and I refinanced it, pulled $58,000 out of it, tax-free money. $58,000. I bought it for $12,000. $58,000.
What do you tell her? What did you tell someone who's thinking about, should I go to that free seminar? Is that a scheme or is that real?
No, actually, she had called me on the phone and asked me, how the training was, and it's excellent. I mean, I can't. This is one of the best investments that I've come across. It's able me and my wife to pretty much become free, do what we want. I own my own business.
I'm out here with Spencer on another one of his properties. I want to have him explain to you, just exactly what he did and what the possibilities are for you as well. So, give us a little rundown on what happened here, man. It's a stellar deal.
You got it, Russ.
Right.
Well, basically, I bought this home for $5,000.
A whole house, now it's a manufactured house, but for $5,000, how many square feet is this?
Oh, you're probably looking at 1,350 under
Okay,
here.
all right.
2 bedroom, 2 full bath, eat-in kitchen, dining room, and a living room.
All right, all right, all right.
I bought it for $5,000, but what's exciting is before I closed on it, I've already got a buyer. You ready for this? I still
ready.
can't believe it.
I'm ready.
I got a buyer for $29,000.
So folks, two things I want to point out here. One of the first strategies in my course is not about finding a needle in a haystack or one lucky deal. It's about how do I go out and buy a couple of properties, add up rents, deducting expenses, knowing there's positive cash flow. Now, Spencer and thousands of my students all over the country right now in this economy not only are creating financial independence and a safe retirement, but putting lump sums of cash in their pocket too. All these strategies are outlined in our training. Spencer is a great proof of someone who didn't know a lot about real estate, got the right training, and went out there and got it done. Folks, you could do this.
We've done nothing down deals. We brought the money home at closing. I mean, the stuff that they teach really does work if you just listen and follow what they tell you to do.
By the end of this month, we'll have 4 more properties, 2 fourplexes, a triplex, a single-family home, and then another duplex. All by the end of this month, we'll have 8 properties.
We're a third of our way to our first goal, and that is to equal the amount of income that we currently have. We own our own business otherwise, and our goal is to bring this income up to meet this one so that we can retire.
Using Russ's Building Wealth system, in just a year and a half, this Whitney student has acquired some 25 properties and 15 rental units.
I don't think I've flipped anything this year less than $10,000. So we had maybe 7 or 8 flips just this year, and all of our flips have went more, at least $10,000 or more.
His gross income is an unbelievable 6 figures as he continues to make all his dreams come true.
Well, it has changed our lives tremendously. Now we're able to just get up and go. As far as vacationing, beforehand, we were just like, no, we're not gonna go here, we're not gonna go there. But now that he's been in the Russ Whitney, we're able to do a lot more with our family and just enjoy each other.
After training with Russ and his staff, this Whitney student went from painting houses to a career as a full-time professional real estate investor.
4 years ago, I was just a painter by trade. At one time, I started out in this business part-time, of course, and had a regular job just like anybody else, 40 hours a week, reporting to a boss.
As a result of Russ's system, he has acquired a net worth of almost $4 million, which has made a positive change in his life.
My net worth is close to $4 million, and my equity position is close to $400,000 on the properties I currently own.
In less than 2 years, using Russ's Building Wealth system, Jeff and Beth from New York State have purchased 10 properties worth over $650,000.
We have another one on Main Street in Oneida that we paid $115,000 for, no money down, got $1,500 back at closing. generates $4,500 a month in gross income, and that's about $1,200 a month, and is now worth approximately $180,000, which gives us about $30,000 in equity in that property with no money down in 4 months.
And within 30 days, we had a check in our hands for $11,000.
I mean, at that point, that was a year and a half ago, we had a net worth of $1 million, and now we have a net worth of $1.5 million. We have about $4 million worth of property.
Well, I wouldn't say we had a net worth 2 years ago. We were living month to month, and now we've done over $500,000 in real estate deals.
After total expenses and net operating income, we're going to be bringing in $295,248.
Net?
Net.
So I have 7 properties now. We'll have a property network of almost $1.3 million.
Yeah.
Your assets are how much?
$2,103,300.
So,
$2 million.
and how long did it take you to do that? About a year and a half.
These Whitney students used their credit cards to buy their first property and quickly turned a $24,000 profit. After only a year, they had bought over 40 properties within 15 minutes of their home.
The last time that I talked to Russ, we had a $2 million asset base. Well, now it's up to $3.7 million. So in a year and a half, we've gone up another $1.7 million.
Using one of Russ's techniques, these partners from Iowa got a $6 million credit line from a local bank. They ran Russ's gold mine ads in local papers and in 13 months had bought 96 units with no money down.
Actually, since we started training, we bought our first property within 30 days. And within 6 months, we had purchased 96 units. And so when we came out of training, we hit the street running.
We have over $250,000 in equity. So our cash flow is $13,000 a month.
After losing his job, Philip went on to one of Russ's free workshops. 7 months later, he paid cash for his home, became debt-free, and now has a net worth of over $1 million.
And so since we took the Whitney program and started investing in real estate, net worth now is probably almost close to $2 million, and probably plan on doubling it this year.